Here is a statement that sounds absurd. Truth is not a property of ideas. It is something that happens to them. Ideas become true. They are not born true. They earn their truth through the test of experience. This is the heart of William James's theory of pragmatic truth, and when he published it in 1907, it created one of the most explosive controversies in the history of philosophy. Bertrand Russell was outraged. G. Moore attacked it in print. Critics accused James of reducing truth to mere convenience, of giving people philosophical permission to believe whatever they found comfortable. James spent years defending himself against these misreadings, because what he was actually saying was far more subtle, far more interesting, and far more useful than his critics acknowledged. Let us start with what James was reacting against. The traditional philosophical view of truth, what philosophers call the correspondence theory, holds that a statement is true if it corresponds to a fact in the world. The cat is on the mat is true if and only if there really is a cat, and the cat really is on the mat. Simple, clean, intuitive. But James noticed that this theory, while elegant, does not actually explain how truth functions in real human life. Consider a belief you hold, say, the belief that you are capable of running a marathon. Is this belief true or false right now, before you have run one? According to correspondence theory, it is either true or false depending on facts about your biology. But James would say something different. This belief does not yet have a truth value in any meaningful sense. What matters is what the belief does. Does it lead you to train? Does it motivate consistent action? Does it generate outcomes that validate it? Truth, for James, is what works in the long run across human experience. Now, this is not the same as saying believe whatever makes you feel good. James was ferociously clear about this. A belief that works in the short term but causes long-term harm or generates false predictions about the world is not pragmatically true. It is self-deception. Pragmatic truth requires that beliefs cash out, not in momentary comfort, but in genuine, lasting, practical success in navigating reality. Think about how science actually works. Scientists do not hold theories as absolute truths. They hold them as the best current working models, models that have survived testing, that make accurate predictions, that are more useful than competing theories. When a better model comes along, scientists do not say the old theory was wrong in some cosmic sense. They say it worked well enough for its domain, and the new theory works better. This is Jamesian pragmatism operating at the highest level of intellectual achievement. James extended this framework into more personal domains with characteristic audacity. He argued that religious beliefs, for example, cannot be evaluated the way we evaluate scientific hypotheses. We cannot run controlled experiments on the existence of God. But we can ask, what does this belief do? Does it enrich life? Does it give meaning? Does it produce moral behavior? Does it help people face suffering and death with courage? If the answer is yes, if the belief genuinely pays off in lived experience, then James would say it has a pragmatic claim to truth that cannot be simply dismissed. This is not an endorsement of any particular religious belief. James was careful to say that pragmatic value must be assessed honestly, not wishfully. A belief that comforts you while making you cruel, or that gives you peace while destroying others, fails the pragmatic test. The payoff must be real and broadly human, not narrowly self-serving. The deepest implication of James's theory of truth is what it does to certainty. If truth is something ideas earn through their performance and experience, then absolute certainty, the dogmatic conviction that you possess the final truth about anything, is almost always epistemically unjustified. The world is more complex than any single framework can capture. Every theory works in some domain and fails in others. Every belief that currently seems self-evident was once controversial and will eventually be refined or replaced. James wanted to cultivate what he called a spirit of radical empiricism, an openness to experience, a willingness to revise beliefs in light of evidence, a tolerance for the fundamental uncertainty that honest inquiry always generates. This is not relativism. James did not think all beliefs are equally valid. He thought some beliefs work better than others, and that is what makes them more true. But it is a rejection of the arrogant certainty that has caused so much suffering in human history. For your own life, James's pragmatic theory of truth offers a powerful heuristic. When you are trying to decide what to believe, about yourself, about others, about what is possible, ask not is this absolutely certain, but what does this belief do? What kind of person does it make me? What actions does it motivate? What world does it help me build? The beliefs that generate growth, connection, courage, and honesty are, in the deepest Jamesian sense, true. The beliefs that generate stagnation, isolation, cowardice, and self-deception are false, whatever their surface plausibility. Truth, for James, is a living thing. It breathes and changes and grows as experience reveals more of reality. This is terrifying to those who want certainty. It is liberating to those who are willing to think for themselves. If you want to think more clearly about the ideas that shape your life, subscribe to The Psychology of William James. There is a whole world of rigorous, practical wisdom waiting for you here.